Let us begin with our lovely Sadhguru. There is a distance between possibility and reality. Do you have the courage and commitment to walk this distance? So, the first distance between possibility and reality is getting home to your 1 year old. And that's when you know you have emotions like every one of us. And so you choose love. And so you heal trauma and or you become aware of your lens. And the reality is anyone who takes themselves seriously will be with good therapy, and then they can add to their journey with self-help and that lovely spiritual awakening guidance and everything we do here, and becoming more of the self-empowered being. So being yourself is the solo self, the narrative self, the relational self, and your core self. And with attachment trauma information in that lovely back pocket and your 5D mystic here to share with you how beautiful it is to know Christ's consciousness, not to mention to have met already the heart of the Holy Spirit in Jesus, although we know that our ancients do not appreciate us 5D mystics, or those of us who are spirituality Christians and or spirituality anything. In fact, they think yoga brings demons out of you. They don't believe in neuroscience. They don't believe in neurobiology, and find it hard to believe that the first 3 years of life, so we leave it alone, to leave them alone. And here's another Sadhguru quote: cowardice comes from worrying about consequences. Those who are fixated on the potential outcomes of their actions will never do what they need to do in life. That sounds like the perfectionists who could use, and ICABM has a good course on that one, and or personal development or good therapy, because perfectionism, you can unwire that through your neuroplastic agent of choice. It's imagination and the capacity to do that inner growth mindset. So thoughts, emotions are of your own. The differentiated self knows that. So in your whole 3-year-old heart, that's why we heal trauma one person at a time. We bring together healthy self-worth relationships, and then we consistently lead no trauma relationships. That's for the adaptive child pattern behavior people. They will choose to say, no, maladaptive child patterns and adaptive child, those perfectionist, unforgiving people who divide each other based on their identity. And so for a polyamory, that will mean somebody says, oh, I don't want her to give my boyfriend kudos and make him have any weird ideas. She's unfaithful. Just a random example, which makes me laugh when I hear that word, unfaithful. I'm going to say it's unfaithful for a married monogamous man to actually make advances, and for a married monogamous man to not share with their married monogamous wife, hey, I want to fuck other people. I mean, how hard is it to maintain your integrity and be flawed? So, we got a lot of ways to go as men and women, and they become more empowered. We'll know how they can say, I'm not a person who has low self-esteem, so I'm not jealous. You just don't bring me any STDs. And no, I don't want to participate. One example. So there are people who they're not polygamous, they're not polyamorous, they're not anything, but they can talk about things. And then there are those who are afraid for their entirety, and therefore the cowardice, again, it's not only perfectionists, it's also people who don't go and heal their childhood trauma, and then they hurt people. It's a lame sentence. There's no need for that. Hurt people don't have to hurt people, and we can all share, hey, you know what? Cusco, love you. But that attitude, you might want to reconsider it. There's ways that the people, those of us who are Christ consciousness, we don't shame people. Those are for people who are not grown-ups yet. They're called teenagers, and they're still spiting someone. So we leave the ill-willed, the unkind, to the side. When they want to get their inner child up to the forefront, they will find good therapy, or they will begin saying, wow, I don't want to have this stuff inside. I don't need to do push-pull. I don't need to have low self-esteem or indirect communication or be passive-aggressive or have this little, I'm going to go take revenge on someone, random ideas that people have. I don't want to ruminate or be in a black and white thinking, split thinking, and I'm not going to romanticize my behavior or pathology. It's not a pathology. Wait a minute. Oh, my behavior, I can understand it. Oh, wow, I can heal maladaptive child pattern behavior with Dr. Daniel Fox. He's got proactive stuff immediately online. Anyone who wants. He's got a beautiful community of people who are using all of his mindset exercises, and it helps them. Okay, so the cowardice people are the ones who don't do the emotional one lifting, and then they continue to not want to do emotions. In fact, they'll do therapy. It's sacred. EMDR, child parts work, and somatics. But then personal development, nah, woo-woo, nah, pseudoscience, bullshit. I don't want to do it. Really, so it's not the self-help or the pseudoscience. It's bullshit. It's you don't want to do emotions. There's a Zen master. He tells you about laundry. You can go and use that as an excuse. People who don't want to do emotions, they have this thing called, I want it to be easy to feel. You can get to feel when you stop judging emotions as positive or negative, number one. As you understand, the biochemistry of you works with you, and the oxytocin gene hormone is released when you can sit in your left and right mode. That's by your volition, though. Motivation only can stem from you. That's why it's hard to think and feel, Maria. I don't want to do it. There's two options. You can do it and you expand, and then you grow more and more joyful inside, or you don't, and you just keep doing the same, stagnating, which is a Pinocchio with a wooden body, and you fizzle out. Okay, so with that being said, those of us who choose love and we choose to heal, if there's deep trauma, big trauma, with good therapy, and then again, you continue that journey, and in healthy self-worth relationships, we have a good time. And then there are those of us who got lucky. Raise your hand. I have no shame, and I have a good relationship with all emotions. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to tell you all about the human love narrative and how amazing it is. To have no ill will, even when people from behind, they catch you off guard. But you know what a pattern is, right? I'm a pattern too. So it's really nice to not be blue when it's a time to remember this. So this is a Billy Joel song that came to me as I was channeling, which we already had the other one too, the River of Dreams. So this is the time. I wanted to talk about one of the sentences where he shares, it's going to change. You've given me the best of you, and now I need the rest of you. What I'm thinking he's talking about is an amazing partner that he has, and he's getting old with her or him or they, I don't know. But did you know that before you came into my life, some kind of miracle that I survived? Someday we will both look back and have to laugh. We lived through a lifetime and the aftermath. Okay, so people who are, for example, childhood trauma survivors, when they find a safe haven, secure base, when they have finally found somebody who lovingly accepts them and lets them be who they are, and all those emotions, all those moods, continues to welcome them. And that's why the 5D Collective is very much ready and here for all of those who are doing, again, self-help, personal development, and wanting true love. True love is not you turning your back on twin flame or soulmate or anyone. You know, the fact that I saw some of these people who at this point, after a certain amount of years, because they did not get their twin flame back, now they've created that you don't end up with your twin flame, that you have a divine counterpart, that you have a false twin flame, and now they've made up this other word of the twin soul. That is what God gives you. So any and everything to say, I will not take ownership of my 1-year-old. I want one human being who will meet all of those expectations to soothe my nervous system and then to do secure base with me. So when a person is motivated by being dependent on another human being for their inner world, yes, this is what it's called for those people who talk to you about pedestals and altars and mantles. So that's a person who will want to not be a differentiated self. A differentiated self is, I'm Maria, I'm a secure base and safe haven, and then I complement you and you complement me, and we come together and we create a mui. So you lovingly accept me for all that I am. I get to be myself, flawed with integrity, because I'll tell you to your face what I think all the time, not just sometimes, and I have emotions, and I'm not going to bring you down with them. I actually am going to be with a person who knows how to be, means you know how to regulate your own nervous system in a happy spot, because that's exactly how it works. This is where IHP is not about the people who say they have laundry in here. Anyone who wants to still be in Eeyore land, they can go to those who want to romanticize, and that means, oh, it has to be separate. So yeah, no, that's not here. This is completely not here. Okay. The other song that I also channeled with always Billy Joel, it's amazing. The one, where is it? Fire. We didn't start the fire, but we fought it, or something like that. So we don't fight things. Fighting is resisting. Divine feminine here knows my own divine masculine. Then with any divine masculine that is mine will know that there's an automatic flow. So people that are divine feminines and divine masculines, we know we complement each other. We don't have to work hard at anything. We come together again, again, again. And so this fire thing, when I looked at the song, there was an updated version with what's going on right now. And so that one's fascinating. But yeah, the part about we don't fight the fire, the enlightenment soul age group mystic lady here is going to share with you that there's an infinity that allows me to tell you how life and humans are part of that. We don't auto-destruct. You see the part about going a distance. So do you have the courage and commitment to walk this distance? People who want to get home to their one-year-old hearts, they can. The Billy Joel song, when he is in the middle of the night, I've been walking in my sleep, so that he lost something sacred, right? He lost something sacred as he was born, is how I'm going to put it, but he doesn't say that. He just says, looking for something I lost, something sacred I lost, something taken out of my soul, something I would never lose, something somebody stole. And when you learn about the one-year-old, they didn't choose to have non-consistent contingent communication. They needed a third of attunement and then repairing ruptures so that that first year of life could be securely attached. With that being said, if they didn't get that, then they have not securely attached, which means they're going to have already shame to begin with. And so unhealthy self-soothing mechanisms, because there's this longing here in one way, shape, or form that will bring forth specific void and heartbreak and gut wrench. Okay, so with that again being said, people who want to love, first of all, you love yourself and you love others. You become a person who knows what it means to have integrity. I share with you who I am. I maintain basic principles of treating others the way you want to be treated. This is where I learned this from Jesus, nothing different. So when people go around demonizing or romanticizing, they're not staying grounded in Christ consciousness at all. They're actively doing something completely not reality. In fact, they're somewhere else, is all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave that one alone. And we're going to move to another episode. So this one, I didn't even choose a title yet, but you can definitely make it to your restorative embodiment self if you want. It's called I Can Do Emotions. And for life partners, they don't leave, they stay. They also know how to speak their emotions and thoughts. And as you get older, this doesn't change. I was a teenager and knew it. I'm 44 and I know it. And actually for me, I've grown more loving. Why? Because there's love here because I'm a securely attached 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old. In fact, I don't keep somebody with a little string. That's ridiculous. What do you think? I'm going to choke you? If you don't want to stick around, that means that you're not having a good time. I want you to have a good time. You have one life to live. And even if I'm a mystic and I know I'll come back, I want you to live the best life you could ever live. Now, if you want to live it like Pinocchio with the wooden body and you're in the shame cycle, yeah, that's why I can't do anything for you. I find it hard to believe. Well, you know what? I'm going to stay silent as the wise divine feminine that I am, because I know the truth as I'm my own divine masculine and I have this connection. Yeah, and here's the thing. I can alchemize always, not just sometimes, because it's called the inner growth mindset that you get to do with Maria here, your lovely woo-woo. And that's where emotions, they don't overwhelm any person that says, ooh, I got emotions. This is awesome. Because again, secure attachment. This is what it means. If you don't have it yet, you don't know Christ consciousness. And Christ is not about demons, by the way, and what they're using. I know how they use the name, a lot of people. What I'm going to say is I got taught that he showed us how to forgive, turn the other cheek, not cast stones, unconditional love. God taught me how to not desire to be anything different than what I am, which is why there's a bunch of contradictions. Oh, science and spirituality comes together, by the way, at 5D land. So we don't have to deconstruct and say that faith and God or anything that is within a belief system is false and doesn't exist. Whenever you see anyone who's trying to say that is canceled, you got an adaptive child, that means their left mode is working, their right mode is nowhere to be found, because an integrated brain will be flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable. A differentiated brain will also be a person who understands that it's subjective life and that nobody knows everything. And the fact that you're trying so hard, or even if you're not trying hard, the fact that you're trying to dismantle something, that tells me that I got an adaptive child in a Cusco in town, because there's no need to do it. because sciences and spirituality, they come together for the ones of us who can see from here. And this is where here means here, and it also means here. And so you're not using anything that is a possibility, reality. I'm grounded. Sciences explains all about how you were born, how I was born. In fact, it proves there's no demon that possesses anyone. It's child parts and it's trauma. It's very unfortunate that human beings would rather believe in demons than believe in their own species, which tells me that there's a trust break with your own species, which tells me there's a misanthropist in the room, which tells me that's not Christ consciousness as he walked with people, which tells me again. So any way you twist and turn it, a person of faith with the Holy Spirit, a person with God, a person that has healthy self-worth will not be fooled by fear-mongering tactics of anyone, not to mention of someone who's wanting, and or more than someone, to use words and to use an entity and to use faith and to use belief systems and to use something that brings to the people of faith, we know what Jesus means and God. And it is not a monster that is going to be throwing brimstones and being so scary to people when you can understand what the shame cycle is and why people end up in drugs and the fucking and all this stuff that, again, stories and this way of talking about something that is so basic at this point for me with attachment trauma, I can explain it to you. If you begin life with not secure attachment, what's been taken out of your soul is that your embodied brain doesn't know what love is. And anytime you come near unconditional love, you will be reminded of that which you did not get. And since the first year of your life, only the right mode of your brain was online. You can learn this stuff. I can share with you the sources, by the way. This one's Dr. Daniel Siegel, and he gets chased down always by his colleagues. So FYI. Academics chase each other because that's how it works when you have teenagers who are grown-ups, because the only people who are chasing each other around are the same people that in my book I didn't think grown-ups would become that. When I use that word, it's because I'm a child who's a grown-up, but I am still the same person who was hearing what was coming out of the mouth of people, and still to this day I will hear what comes out of your mouth, and then I'm going to wonder, how don't you notice that you have likes and dislikes? Because I can hear my own likes and dislikes. I can hear what I'm saying. How do you not hear? Oh, wait, Stephen Porges, thank you so much. So people cannot hear themselves when they are in biological rudeness. So automatically I know that when I'm in the presence of an adaptive child, they're not going to hear me. They're going to hear what they want to hear. The minute they hear what they want to hear, I'm going to notice if they're actively going to participate friendly, if I'm liked or not liked, based on how they then go around handling everything. Then if they want to poke at me, they're going to start doing this little wiggle room weird dance. And since I have fun with weird dancing, because, as long as you're not stepping on my toes too many times, I'm going to learn how to move around. I'm just saying, this is what it means to be in a present brain, is that I'm a guitar string, so are you. You're not hiding anything, because that's sciences. So while I'm woo-woo, again, self-help, personal development, it helps people who want to do emotions and be emotional grown-ups. It's really fun. And again, the distance between possibility and reality, it's by staying grounded. I love Jesus. He taught me everything I needed to know. Buddha came around at some point, but I am not as much of awareness of Buddha. And today you hear from the new episode where I tell you, I look up to Jesus because he went away, but then he came back. While the first part of what I read about Buddha is he left. And I know that there's reasons for that energy over there, feminine alone and then masculine alone, but still. And I'm not saying Jesus or Buddha are either. I don't know a lot of things. I'm very ignorant on linearity completely. I'm in fact not linear. I'm analogical, which is why I'm the woo-woo lady, because I don't come here to say, let me create a list for you. No, you want a list, you go to school. They're going to break it down to you. Take introduction to any topic, but you want to make sure that you understand. There's a thorough line of, you could be in school for a long time if you want. And on that note, I'm in the school of tap into your infinite higher human conscious potential experience. If you want, come and join us for love and for healing trauma, one person at a time, being functional adults, one person at a time, and with our healthy self-worth relationships, actually living what is true love. That's amore. When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie. And yes, Naples, Italy, they know all about passion. And we're going to have another episode because they also know about other things, but so do other places like America. And that's where it's going to be about boys and girls I don't know any days, but we're going to talk a little bit about this masculine, feminine, men, women. I'm thinking of the title, but not sure yet. In the meantime, thank you again for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe if you wish. If you know anybody who wants to become a grown up and love, send them over to IHP. And again, 5D Mystic here. So we will have channeling as well. My lovely tarot and crystals might have a show and tell later on. Yesterday, I wanted to do some show and tell, but then I was like, let me scratch it. We'll try again later. So thank you again for stopping by. Have a good one.